Hello everybody. So in our syllabus we are moving toward the another chapter, that is nationalism in India. That it is another chapter related to the history. So children, what is a nationalism? It is a feeling of the pride or belongingness of a people of one land or one region. That is called a nationalism, and it is also a willingness to sacrifice everything one has for the factor responsible for the rise of the nationalism. And this feeling of the nationalism arise in India or among the Indians in the revolt of 1857. इंडिया के जो लोग थे उन लोगों में ये जो नेशनलिज्म की फीलिंग है वो कब आई, जब उन्होंने 1857 के आसपास, जब 1857 का रिवॉल्ट होता है उसके आसपास उन लोगों को ये फीलिंग आने लगी दैट वी ऑल बिलोंग टू इंडिया एंड वी ऑल आर इंडियंस. And this concept of the national factors such as the Renaissance, Reformation are also responsible for this. Then, due to the English education in India, the Indian people get connected to the other part of the world also, and they are also now understanding that what is happening in the other part of the world, and that factor is also responsible, like the America and the French Revolution, then the unification of the Germany and Italy. जब इंडियन लोग इंग्लिश एजुकेशन आने की वजह से जब पढ़ने लगे तो उनको उसके बाद जो वर्ल्ड के दूसरे कंट्री में जो होता था वो भी पता चलने लगा, और जो नेशनलिज्म का फैक्टर था वो उन्होंने अलग अलग देश में देखा, जैसे अमेरिका में फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन में कैसे डेमोक्रेसी आती है, एंड हाउ दिस इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन इन द 18th century create a nationalism among the other part of the or the other countries in the world, and that's how it also came in India and affected the people of India, and it gathered the knowledge about the things happen all around the world and changed the political, social, religious and the economic view of the people. Now we will study what are the different factors which actually responsible for the arise of the nationalism in. So the first factor is the political reason. Now before British came to India, it was divided into the small or the big princely state. Okay, and the British defeated many kings and brought that region under the indirect rule, and this dominance of the Britishers actually governed the or unified the India in the administrative level. However, the overseen British rule was not conducive. Overall, the governance of the British was not good, but this is a very important factor which actually awakened the Indians against the British rule and united them. Then comes the economical reasons. Now, during the British era, India was financially or economically it has been ruined. Ruined मतलब उसको बर्बाद किया ब्रिटिशर्स ने, because they were ruling for their advantages, is it? क्योंकि जो इस तरह से रूल करते हैं वो अपने एडवांटेजेस के लिए ही रूल करते हैं, because India was colony for them. The British took the raw material from India to England, then manufactured the good, that is an solid product, and sold again in the Indian market with a very high price. Okay, so because of this, the India has to import the goods in a very high price, and in this cutthroat competition, the handicraft and the cottage industry has been ruined up very badly, and it didn't sustain the year. Then comes the transport and the telecommunication. The railway, telegraph, land and waterways, etc. developed in India by the British for the military, economic and the political reasons. But however, this became a boon for Indians. The people came closer, development of the, because of these facilities, the Indian people came closer. There is a mobility of the intellectuals, artists, business, and they started exchanging their thoughts and opinions. Discrimination of the caste, community, and the regions get lesser and lesser, and due to the increase in the communication and the mass transportation, the people and the national leader used to communicate their thoughts and the plan to the large number of the people or to the mass, and from one part of the India to the other part of the India. The leadership was built at the national level instead of the regional levels, and this gave a notable contribution in the achievement of the Swaraj, that is freedom. Now the another factor is the literature and the education. Due to the English education, it paved the way for the rise of Indian nationalism. The doors of the Western ideas of nationalism opened due to the English education. जो फ्रांस में डेमोक्रेसी के लिए रेवोल्यूशन आया था, जर्मनी इटली में यूनिफिकेशन हुआ था, ये सारी चीजें इंडियंस को इंग्लिश एजुकेशन की वजह से पता चली. ऐसे तो ब्रिटिशर्स इंग्लिश एजुकेशन इसलिए लेकर आए थे क्योंकि वो ये जानते थे कि अगर इंडियंस को सप्रेस करके रखना है तो ये जरूरी है कि उनका एजुकेशन सिस्टम तोड़ा जाए. एंड दैट वाज डन बाय द लॉर्ड मैकुले. आज भी आप ये जान के हैरान होंगे दैट द गुरुकुल सिस्टम ऑफ द एजुकेशन वाज far better than what we are seeing in the today's English education system. Thus, we were inspired by the ideas of the democracy, liberty, equality, phrase from the American War of Independence and the French Revolution. People developed their self-confidence, recognized the power of the unity, and this written literature spread the message of national unity and devotion. अब जो भी एजुकेटेड क्लास थी उस टाइम इंडिया में, वो क्योंकि न्यूज़पेपर, टेलीग्राफ, कम्युनिकेशन और ये सारे की वजह से जो अपना आइडिया था, जो उन्होंने वर्ल्ड में देखा कि वर्ल्ड में चीजें कैसे बदल रही है, कैसे जो गवर्नेंस का सिस्टम है वो अब राजाशाही का नहीं है. सो द डेवलप्ड कंट्री और द डेवलपिंग कंट्री, दे ऑल आर हैविंग द डेमोक्रेसी, एंड डेमोक्रेसी इज अबाउट द इंडिपेंडेंस, अबाउट द आइडियाज ऑफ द पीपल. And these influenced the educated class, and they started spreading this message to the common people of the India through the newspaper and other communication means. Now comes the newspaper. We have already seen it played a very vital role in spreading the national awareness. And the newspaper published in the Bengal, Mumbai, Chennai and the other area criticized the policies of the Britishers, and it awakens the national feeling among the people. So in newspaper की वजह से भी common people तक जो आइडिया पहुंचाने का काम था वो बहुत ही आसान हो गया, और उस वजह से जो नेशनल लीडर्स को कम्युनिकेट करना होता था वो न्यूज़पेपर में वो लोग लिखते थे, पब्लिश करते थे, तो वो ज्यादा लोगों तक इजिली पहुंच जाता था. And then comes the magnificent and the rich heritage of India. Due to the excavation of the Indus Valley civilization, first by the Britishers, and then it was carried by the Ram Bahadur Dayaram Sahani, Madhav Swarup Vats and the Rakhal Das Banerjee. This has represented that the Indian culture is not of the few thousand years, but it is of the thousands of the year ago, and it has a very majestic and the rich civilization. And the many of the Indian ancient books of the medical science, astrophysics, diplomacy, spirituals were translated in English, and the world recognized this knowledge of India. So this make the Indians proud for themselves and increases their self-confidence and also help them to get unite. Now, as these all activities are going in the early 19th century, there was a British officer, A.O. Hume, Alan Octavian Hume. He realized that British Empire is not going to be as secure, as safe it is appearing from the outside. So, in order to keep the general prospect among the people that their dissatisfaction are actually recognized by the Britishers, so they established a political organization in the December 1885, and that political organization is known as the Indian National Congress. Now, the first session of the Indian National Congress was held on the 28th December 1885 at the Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit School of Mumbai, with the Yomesh Chandra Banerjee as the president. So, who was the first president of the Indian National Congress? Yomesh Chandra Banerjee. And the main leaders who were present in the meeting was Dadabhai Naoroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tayyabji, K.T. Telang, Dinsha, Vacha, and many more. In the initial stage of 1885 to 1905, Indian National Congress demands for the political rights, economical and the social growth, development of the education, and they also demand for the inclusion of the Indians in the more government services and the reduction of the expenditures on the military, revival of the cottage industries. Okay, so these were the initial demand of the Indian National Congress, and due to this demand, the British government granted certain freedom for the press, liberty, freedom of the speech to the people, and this inspired the educated and the youth people and fostered the nationalism in the educated class. अभी क्या हुआ कि ब्रिटिशर्स को ये पता चल गया था कि वो ज्यादा दिन तक अपना जो रूल्स है वो इंडिया पे चला नहीं पाएंगे. ओके, if they will protest against it, so it become hard for them to exist here. So what they have done, they have made a political organization, ठीक है, जो कि उनके पास पीपल का डिमांड लेकर आए. अब इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस उसके पास पीपल्स का डिमांड लेके भी जाती है, लेकिन जो ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट होती है, जो ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी होती है, वो उनके सारे डिमांड नहीं मानती है, बट कुछ चीजें मान जाती है, जैसे कि प्रेस का फ्रीडम होगा, वो ब्रिटिश के डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल में नहीं होगा, पर्सनल लिबर्टी होगी और बोलने का फ्रीडम होगा. तो ऐसी कुछ चीजों की लिबर्टी ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने इंडियंस को दिया, so that Indian doesn't rebel with the more power. Okay? वो जैसे कैसे होता है कि बच्चे बहुत रोने धोने लगते हैं कि मुझे चॉकलेट चाहिए, तो क्या करते हैं, उसको पूरा चॉकलेट का पैकेट नहीं देते हैं, बट एक चॉकलेट दे देते हैं. सो इट इज ऑफ दैट काइंड.